fiberglass shower stalls are attractive, durable, and easy to care for. On today's show, we'll take you through a step-by-step installation from hooking up the pipes to hanging the door. Hi, I'm Joe Lorario.
And I'm Ed Feldman, and today we're in a Center City, Philadelphia townhouse. 100 years old it is.
And they've been doing an extensive renovation here. They gutted everything. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the bathroom.
They figured that out by now.
Well, they're putting in a fiberglass shower stall, and that's what we're going to be installing.
We're going to help. Bathroom's a very important part of your home.
Very important, because you spend a lot of free time there.
The other thing you must remember about a bathroom, very often it sells the house for you. People look at the bathroom right away because they don't want to spend a lot of time redoing it.
And there's a lot of, you can spend a lot of money in the bathroom. You can spend a little bit of money in the bathroom. This is like, what would you say?
This is a mid-range bathroom.
Mid-range, yeah, kind of.
They wouldn't let us work on an expensive one.
We'll break too many things.
Let's go meet the contractors. Oh, John, we noticed a lot of the bathroom has already been done. In what order was it done?
Well, first we came in and did the demolition. We took the plaster off the walls, removed the partitions, and then we reframed it to fit the configuration of the new bathroom. Then we called in the plumber and the electrician, and they did the rough plumbing and the rough electrical.
John, I noticed the floor has already been laid. It's a beautiful marble agglomerate.
Right. Well, we put the drywall on, and then we laid the floor.
Okay.
And next would be the fixture installation.
Now, what kind of things would the homeowner be able to do themselves?
Well, the homeowner could do some of the demolition, and they could also do some of the fixture installation if it was easy, and caulking, and also painting.
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Good.
This is our plumber, Dave Chassie. I know his name's Dave because it says Dave right here. You want to tell us what you've done?
We've roughed in for the toilet line and the vanity, the drain line, and also for the shower. We also did the water lines, hot and cold for
each fixture.
Each toilet just gets the cold,
Okay.
obviously.
A job, see, for a licentious plumber.
That's licensed plumber.
And I also see that you put it in the shower pan, Dave.
Yeah, we had to put it in before the floor gets put in.
Of course, the floor is going to butt into the front of it.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Now, how is this attached? Is this attached with gum, Spam, what?
No, this one was very tight and very rigid, so we just set it right in there. But in some instances, we have to put in some mortar to help support it.
Okay. Now, what's this in the center here?
That's the shower pan drain.
The shower pan drain. Say that 10 times, eh? Okay, well, now all we got to do is put in the walls.
Yep, that's it.
All right, let's get to that.
I'm not the owner, but I am a rebel. Attica! Here are the modular walls for our shower. And this is the back wall, it's got the rail, and those are the other two walls. The last wall being the one that we're going to cut through to accept the fixtures. You always rough out the shower opening to accept these walls, and these are pretty standard modular walls. Just what do we mean by roughing out? Roughing out, or roughing in as it's often called, refers to the initial stage of a plumbing, electrical, carpentry, or other remodeling project when all the components that won't be seen after the second, finishing phase are assembled. In this case, we're referring to the framed and drywalled shower stall walls. So now it's time to pull them in. Joe, help me. Some of us take coffee breaks. Oh, it hurts! It hurts! Hey, wake up, pussycat. I'm wondering where you've been. What you been doing?
Well,
shimming?
I had to plumb out the back here because it was not level, so I put a half-inch shim here and a quarter-inch shim here, make it nice and
I
level.
could hold this all day.
I know you don't.
Why don't you just fit that down into the shower pan, which has a flange.
The shower pan, which is different than the tie pan.
Yes, and it fits up into the groove on the bottom of the wall. Now, here's the side wall, which has, of course, little pegs here. See the little pegs?
That's a little peg.
That's a little peg.
Peg, it will come back to you.
Yes, it will. And it comes down into the slots that are molded into the back wall.
Perfect.
And that's why they call it modular.
Shims are thin pieces of material inserted to make adjustments in level or plumb. Level refers to true horizontal. Plumb refers to true vertical. Here, the rear roughed-out shower wall was not plumb, so we inserted a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch cedar shake shim. We will screw the fiberglass panel through the shim and into the roughed-out wall, making the shower stall plumb, not a nectarine. Now, the third wall's got to be cut out to accept the plumbing. So we measure from the side of the wall to the valve, which we get is 14 3/4.
14 3/4.
Yes, you got it, right? Good. And from the bottom to the valve is 34 1/2.
34 1/2.
You got it. You're a college man. That's great. we transferred our measurements onto this fiberglass panel, and now I'm going to cut it using... Ed must have been here. Using... It's down here somewhere. The hole saw. I remember when I used this on the monster. The directions that come with your fixture will tell you how big a hole to cut in your panel. Always cut from the front, so the rough edges will be against the wall when it's hung. Use a very sharp blade, naturally. The fiberglass may splinter or tear slightly, but that's okay because it's going to be covered. Now what you want to do is, we're going to find the studs here. See, these are the studs. We made the lines here. You can find studs with the stud finder.
However, we know where these studs are for two reasons.
Dave made marks here, right? Where the
Right,
studs
and
were.
also we also know that this drywall compound is over the seams, which are over the studs. And even a better way to find the studs is to look inside this wall.
Yeah.
See, it's open. I can see studs in
You got
there.
a chance to do that. But here, look. Do you see these holes here? These are little punch throughs, perforations. That's where we'll further drill. We have to use a pre-drill, like this here. We'll pre-drill that and then shoot a screw into it.
Let's do it now.
Hey, did you notice we didn't caulk the shower to the shower pan or wall to wall? That's because this model shower locks together, forming a watertight seal, so you don't need the caulk. Ah, modern living.
Amazing.
Shower walls are up and I didn't break a sweat.
Next, we'll be doing the fixtures and the door.
Where did you come from?
Next, home makeovers done right on.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, we're in our 100-year-old house in Philadelphia, and we've already put up the shower walls, and now we're going to go over the fixtures. Wall. Look, here's the shower head, right? This is where your water comes out, like Hitchcock and Psycho, you know, right to the camera. This is the piece that goes into the wall.
The elbow macaroni.
Right. And then this is the, oh, this is important. This little thing, it's not a button or a piece of licorice. This is a water saver. Goes
What
right,
does it do?
Goes in there and it saves water.
Yeah.
Right.
See, if you took it out, more water would go through.
Yeah.
So you could actually...
Here you're forcing a lot of water through 3 little holes.
Right.
And this, anything that covers a bare pipe against the wall, this is called an escutcheon.
It also works that way, like on a door or a drawer in furniture.
Right, exactly.
And this is...
An ashtray.
It's a hubcap.
A
No,
headlight.
it's an escutcheon plate, and it fits against the wall to finish off this part nicely, which is the temperature gauge.
Ooh.
Now, is this the code, I ask you?
No. The red is the hot. This is the code.
But is this the code?
It's the code, but the code is red, is blue. This is red.
It's a code blue?
Code blue. Time to put in the shower head now, but before we put in the shower head, we got to remove the temporary cap up here. Now we turned the water off in the basement, and we're just a matter of taking these channel locks and unscrewing the pipe. And there we go, it's a little bit of leakage, but it, shrimp salad. Put this in the pocket so it doesn't roll off, and also the channel lock's in the pocket. And now you take the shower head. Now you need a watertight seal on both ends of the threaded shower arm. In order to get that tight seal, you need a good plumber's dope.
Did you page me?
Very subtle. Okay.
Hey, this is plumber's dope. It's a joint sealing compound that makes the watertight seal that's especially used for plumbing applications.
Oh, wonderful. And you want to apply this, the longer end of the shower arm here is going to go into the wall. And you want to apply this right to the edge.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Ooh, that's sort of a slate, you might say.
And you want to try and keep this off your hands because it's kind of nasty. You know, it's really nasty.
Yeah, you can clean it up with alcohol if needs must.
We'll get some of this on. There's a lot of...
You don't have to slop it on thick. Just make sure it gets in all the threads.
You want it nice and neat. Now screw it in by hand, being careful not to get that pipe dope all over because it's a mess to get off. When you've got it hand tight, you can use pliers or channel locks, which is a fancy schmancy kind of plier that can be adjusted. And of course, make sure your shower arm is facing down.
And remember, when using pliers in this manner, clockwise is the right way.
And now we put on the scutcheon.
That's this, Scott? Eustachian.
Perfect.
That's beautiful.
Now we need...
More pipe dope for the other end, because we want that to be watertight too.
Pipe dope is hard to get off once it's on. If you're intimidated by it, you can also use Teflon tape, available in most home stores. Teflon tape wraps around the thread on pipes and forms a watertight seal just like pipe dope. Wrap the tape once or twice around the threads.
And give it a wrench just a quarter turn, or else you'll hurt everything.
Else you'll screw up the threads.
Peeping Tom, a classic film. The shower head is up. Now it's time to install the single dial temperature control, which is what the owner has chosen. Dave, our plumber, has already connected the hot and cold to the valve that comes with the whole assembly. That's a job for a plumber. That's what he does. And now we're going to put on the escutcheon plate. Ow. Look, a factory-supplied machine screw. Why are they called machine screws? Because they ain't got no point. It's working. Hardware and drains don't mix. So when you're working with hardware and drains, cover the drain so the hardware don't fall down. You can use tape, a foot, or a large pie. I hate plumbing like Persian. But this control knob is actually pretty cool because it's in 2 steps. This is the flow valve. 5 o'clock. And the nut goes there.
The flow valve handle is at 5 o'clock because that's where it lines up with the word off that's on the escutcheon. This valve is designed with the flow and temperature controls on the right side of the fixture, but they all vary, so always read your directions.
Yeah, I need reading glasses. Everybody knows it. Now it's time to put on the temperature control knob.
This single dial temperature control is really easy to use but kind of difficult to install. That's why we used a plumber. If you're the kind of person that wants to do this kind of work themselves, maybe separate hot and cold water fixtures are the way to go.
And a picture of blue and red.
The fixtures are in, but wait, there's more. Don't go away. The shower door.
From here down. We're back at our 100-year-old row house in Philadelphia doing our shower. We've already done the enclosure. Let's face it, it's standard, it's white, it's fiberglass, but you can get creative with the door. This one has etchings, although it is a standard size, 32 by 64. How does one assemble such a shower door? Directions. Step 1, throw the destructions away.
No, you need them, especially this exploded view. See, it's got all the parts here that are necessary for the assemblage, and we've exploded every piece here on the table.
Especially me.
Because it's good to lay everything out and assemble as much as you can on a flat surface, because you can't do it in midair. Unless you're Superman.
Superman. Yeah. All right, so there's 2 basic parts. Assemble everything that can go on the door as you can, and then do the frame on the actual shower enclosure. One other thing we had to do is make sure which side we wanted the handle to be on, because this is a right-hand opening shower door. Why? Because we got the shower head on the right-hand side,
And if you got this on the left, you open it the wrong side, you get a face full of water.
You're drenched.
Didn't Sergio Leone direct that, a face full of water? Anyway.
All right, step 1, we're going to install the pivot blocks, which makes the door pivot. Slide it in there. And here's the end cap plastic piece. It fits over here, gives it a nice finish look. Do this to the top and the bottom.
Hey, we're ready to put in the curb or the sill. Whatever, you choose the name. And it goes right here on the step of the shower pan. Now, there's no real instruction as to where it goes. You don't put it crooked like this, of course, and you don't put it like that. You don't want it all the way in the back. You don't want it too far in the front. We made a couple ticks right here, right before the rounded edge of the step. And that's about where it's going to go, okay? Put it on with double-sided tape. Now, before you put this curb on, you want to make sure that all these surfaces are clean. We used a little bit of alcohol, just make sure all the oil and grease was removed. And we also washed this down with some alcohol. And the double-sided tape, easy enough. You just pull a length of it, attach it to the one edge. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, keep going. The tape is talking to me. And then, of course, we'll make a little snoop right here. I feel like a surgeon. I'm not going to have enough on this one. That's why they provide you with 2 reels. Two. Now you pull off the paper. And now comes time for the placement. You want to get this spot right there. I'll put it right in here. Right there.
Playgirl, here's my audition. It's time to attach the pivot jam, this, to the shower enclosure itself. And here's how you sight it up. You sight it up at the bottom by butting those little peaks, those decorative peaks, against the lip of the curb, right? And now, put it flat against the enclosure here, get a level, and work it until your bubbles are floating. And doesn't everybody want a floating bubble now and then? Now it's time to mark the spots where we're going to attach it with screws. You know, sometimes you might need a third hand for this. Ah, that's better. You got pre-drilled holes in the flange of the jam. I love to say words like flange of the jam. And then down here, the second hole, and then down here, the third hole.
Now drill through the marks with a 3/16 inch drill bit. A good rule of thumb is hold the screw behind the drill bit and make sure that the threads of the screw show on either side.
Now just put the pivot jam back and screw it in with the factory provided screws. And of course, a screw gun. Well, there we have it.
Oh! Then place the bottom pivot block into the bottom pivot brace, which we attach to the pivot jam before attaching it to the wall. Put the top pivot brace onto the top of the pivot jam and slip it over the pivot block on top of the door. Screw the pivot brace to the wall using the factory set screw provided. A free carp to anybody who can guess how many times I said the word pivot. And you just screw it in. Ah, there we are.
All right, the door's on, and now, now it's time to put on the strike jam.
The strike jam is the part of the frame that keeps the door from hitting you in your boom boom when you're lathering. Line it up so it's flush against the wall of the enclosure and against the inside edge of the curb.
Now make sure it's level by using, guess what? Your level. Float your bubble. And now the acid test. Close the door and make sure it fits flush and straight. Perfect. Now just mark these holes with a pencil. There and there. And we'll drill through those with our 3/16 bit. And then screw the whole darn thing in. Yeah!
Geordie LaForge, this is the handle. We're going to put the handle on the door. And there's a little magnetic plate in here, you see, which connects with the magnetic strip right here. Look at that. Yeah, it's on. Look. No, you got to put it on the door. All you have to do is close the door, make a little line right at the top on the door that matches up with that magnetic plate. You take this piece of rubber gasket, kind of looks like licorice, but it tastes awful. It tastes like a blimp. And then you take this, hold the back of the door, and then push this on. And it should go on, but it doesn't, of course. Oh no, there it goes right on. Perfect. Let's see how it fits. Magical, like I didn't even do it. Next, we're going to be doing caulking. Next, I'm going to use some caulk. This is a caulk gun, and I'm using a clear silicone caulk because I'm going to caulk around all the inside edges of the pieces that we put on the shower stall. The caulk forms a watertight seal, and it's best to use a nice even pressure on that trigger, because if you pump it a lot, you get a big mess. How do you care for a fiberglass shower stall? Use only non-abrasive cleaners. If you use abrasives, the gel coat or acrylic finish could be scratched and damaged. Daily care is your best bet. Wiping down with a squeegee or a towel after each use will prevent calcium deposits from forming and making it difficult to clean. Fiberglass will dull eventually, though, no matter what you do. But you can buff to a new shine with regular car wax. And remember, the glass on your door is probably tempered glass, so don't put ammonia on it. It'll scratch it.
Well, our shower's all done. Here's the before. Oh, look how ugly, sullen, and lonely it looks. And here's the fabulous after, panning up the beautiful shower enclosure with door and fixtures, and, well, it's still ugly at the top. Well, the owner still has to do drywall and paint the top. But the fixtures are in. That's the most important part. Here's the one-piece flow and temperature control knob, and it even works. Yes! Now to get out of these sticky wet things and into a dry martini.
Hey, we got a website.
www.furnitureguys.com.
All right, Furniture Guys, P.O. Box 53240, Philadelphia, PA 19105.
Hey guys, you can't be here. Let's go.